everyone! So today's video is going to be a review on the new and only the Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D. This palette came out after the Shade and Light palette to contour, and I never got that because I already had the Anastasia one and I thought it was kind of redundant to have both. Says a girl who has like 20 eyeshadow palettes. But this palette, actually you wanna, lips are looking kind of ugly, right? I'm gonna put some lip gloss for the sake of this video. I'm gonna put this like nude. This is Milani and Bare Secret. I feel like I need life in my lips. Yeah, that's better. By the way, if you're interested in this look, I do have a tutorial coming out. So I don't know if you should be on already. Probably, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I do have this tutorial and I did use this palette, but obviously I put some blue eyeshadow all over my lid and I just use this palette to smoke it out. Okay, so this palette comes with like 3 foursomes ordered in like groups, if that makes sense. And it's kind of a warm tone here, a cool tone, and like neutral one. So those are the 3 eyeshadows with just one swatch, like without me repeating. Can you see they're not... Okay, first of all, they're not the same, but I just want you to see how they swatch, like just with one swipe. And I'm gonna build the color a little bit because it is definitely buildable, but it's not... I wouldn't say they're the most pigmented at one swatch palettes. That's with like more, like after I work the swatches out. You can see you get this kind of light brown, kind of medium and dark. I don't think any of those 3 browns is very warm or cool. They're kind of neutrals, I will say, and they're not the same at all, even if at first glance I was like, oh, we're getting so many browns. So I swatched this one, then this one, and then finally this one over here. You can see those swatches right there. And then obviously this is more of a grayish brown. Same with this one. They're more of a cool tone browns. So you see how it's just, it kind of, on me, definitely turns up more gray. And this is almost like a dark gray sort of color. So those are kind of the browns that you get in this palette. And they are all different. Of course, black is just black. I'll just swatch it right here. So what I was saying about those not being as pigmented at the first swatch is something that I actually like because it makes it nice to blend. It's not like, oh, I put the color and then it's so pigmented that it's staining my lids to the point that I cannot blend it and do like a diffused effect. And when I, like right now, you can see in my eyeshadow, it made it really easy to diffuse this line. So I really like those shadows for that. I don't think they are as pigmented, as I said, as other shadows. For example, the Makeup Geek ones that are also matte, the ones that are matte or some others like that. But I think the selling point of this palette is of course that they are all matte, but also that they blend so freaking awesomely. So don't swatch them and be like, oh, like the swatches are not the best, because they do blend very nice. And usually like matte shadows are the ones that you're gonna use on your crease and that you want to diffuse the most. So that's what I think this palette is so awesome. The one thing that I didn't like was that I think those 2 shades are extremely similar. And I'm gonna swatch them in my other hand. I mean, they're not exactly the same, but I feel like they ended up giving me about the same look. This is the one at the neutral light foursome, and this is the one at the cool tone one. And I just don't see that much difference. I mean, this is like white, and this has a little bit of a pink shade to it, but I just feel like, oh, like, do we really need those 2 to be so similar? And then you have this, so those were those 2 right here. And then if I swatch this one and this one, I'm gonna put them next to those two so you can see them. So those are the like light shades, let's say. So this one, it's kind of yellow, has like a yellow tone to it. This is the big one that you get. And this is the harder to swatch. Like if I just swatch it once, you can barely see anything. You see that? Like you can barely see it. So it's very sheer, but that's okay to me because I like it to use it all over, kind of like a setting powder. But that's the heavy swatch right there. And then this one is kind of a cream color. It almost has a peachy tone to it rather than just I'm doing this to try to block the light. Kind of a peachy tone to it. But I mean, it is supposed to have tons of neutrals. So I guess it's alright, but that's kind of how similar they are to each other. And then finally, the other two, it's this like what is it? Like a peach tone, little. Yeah, it's kind of a orange peach tone. And then you have this like brown that has a very red tone to it. I think it's the one that it's harder to get some color out of it. It's right there. And of course, like my skin tone is kind of blocking everything. But do you see how hard it is to get a good swatch? You can even see like, it's just so hard to swatch. And even if you see it on my finger, like this finger, it's kind of, it doesn't have strong pigmentation to it. Even like using it with a brush, I do feel hard to build the color in the crease. So I was kind of sad because it looks so beautiful. And then finally, I mean, it's a nice shadow. It's just I thought it was going to be nicer. And then finally, I think I'm gonna put this with the brown ones, like a maroon shade. So right there. And you can see how it's extremely more red than anything else you're getting. So that's the red one, has beautiful pigmentation. So overall, this palette is $46. I think it's definitely worth it. The quality is just amazing. There's a couple of shades that I think they were a little bit repetitive. So I do think it's a great palette. I think it's awesome. I think it blends. I think for me, the highest selling point is how beautiful it blends. They blend like a dream. And for my matte eyeshadows, that's what you want. So if you are out of neutrals, you need neutrals in your life, maybe if you have a bunch of like single eyeshadows that are really beautiful for the lid, you need something to blend, this is definitely a palette that's it's not gonna make you need any other palette to blend things in the crease for a long time. You have from your white to your black, so it's really a pretty palette. Yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this quick review. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you next time. Bye!